Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Happy Friday. I have learned something here that I've got to make a longer stream intro, and that's because I don't know what the deal is. I've been talking about it to some people in our Discord. However, we've been having some YouTube problems, and it's not letting me schedule a live stream correctly. It lets me just let's see. All right, the volume is good there. It lets me stream just fine, and it all shows up and everything's there's no problem. But on YouTube, for some reason, it's not letting me schedule the stream and reuse my key settings and all that. So then I basically have to redo the stream every single time. That's highly annoying. And then we have to type in everything from scratch, our description, our tags, the thumbnail upload. And as far as I can see, looking over here on my stream settings, when I go straight from the live settings, I cannot find where the setting is. I don't remember how I changed it. I can't find the setting from when it starts accepting data from OBS to wait and then go live when you accept it in YouTube. Now it just automatically starts right away. So yeah, I'm gonna have to make a longer stream intro because I'm not totally ready. Yeah. All right, it's in the Discord, everybody. It's shared out there. I put it on Twitter. All right, I'm gonna shrink this up real quick. I want to say the lighting looks okay. Let me know what you guys think, and let me know what you think of the volume. Once again, I don't have... Now, if I put these on, is that better or worse? I was afraid that might blow out the background a little bit, but I think it looks okay. Let me boot up Blender here while we're getting ready. It's also, I'm pretty tired today. I just got back from the gym again. And we're going to be going back and starting where we left off yesterday. And we are going to be taking a look at the hub world and editing it a little bit more so it can go back into the game engine. So if you guys were here yesterday for the stream, we actually put the model we've been working on for the last 2 weeks in the Unity game engine. And what we did was we put the character controller Pitterpot and let him run around in the environment. We tested our scale and we tried to see how big everything was. And it's all looking good. So now what we're going to do is we are going to hop back in here and fix a couple of the things that we noticed were broken when we put it in the game engine. We're going to do a couple of those things, and then we're going to take it and go back to the game engine. And then after that, we'll just play around in there and then do some giveaways. I got to go ahead and change this. I said I was going to do this yesterday. I'm going to do this on the fly because it should be number one. Number one. Let's get rid of that. Okay. So the Steam Summer Sale is now over. It was advertising on our banner down below. So yeah, sorry about that, guys. It's if you missed it, you missed it. And it'd be nice if you still bought some of our games. Anyways, Azora says Azorawa. I think I'm going to go with that. That's probably the name better. Been nice chatting with you. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you here. And yeah, so what we noticed, one of the main things right away is you can see here when we're looking in our model, you can say Azo, no problem. Yeah, that's so much easier to say. Thank you for that tip. You can see all these little blue lines here. These are showing us which way that our faces are rendering. And for some reason, this one little lost guy, he got left behind and he's facing the wrong way. So Pitterpot fell through the floor when we were exploring the level. So we're going to go back over here and we're going to flip this guy around, and that should fix that. And I think that everything else was facing the correct direction. when we put it into the game engine. And so what we're going to do is I kind of want to see some of this with, some textures. We haven't made our custom textures for this just yet. But what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and just mark some seams real quick, do some like very quick unwrapping, not the best, but we're going to do some, and then we're going to take it and put it in the Unity game engine and throw some of the old Pitterpot textures on there, just so we can get an idea of what the brick scale was going to look like and how we need to unwrap and stuff like that. So we're going to go to edge mode, and then we're going to go ahead and highlight some of these seams. We're going to want all these big walls to be, basically all one piece of bricks. And what we're going to need to do, that should get that whole bottom piece too. And before I go too far, I'm just going to go ahead and start grabbing it and going UV mark seam so we don't get lost. Welcome to the stream, everyone. I can see people tuning in. I'm glad you are here. And this wall, this will make this so much more noticeable. We'll be able to see a little bit better. I would go ahead and show you guys, but, just to keep the computer safe, we're going to do one thing at a time. We'll pull up the game engine in just a second and look at the game running in there. But I don't want to have the stream going and Blender because we got web pages up too and Unity. For some reason, Unity is so much heavier than it used to be, guys. It's crazy. Unity used to be the light game engine, but not anymore. It is a little bloated. They've been putting in so many features, whether it's asked for or not. Some are great, some are, I don't know what they're doing there. But I mean, I'm sure some people are getting use out of them. Whoa, did you see that? We just warped straight into the 2D view on accident. This is also a tedious process, guys. If you're unfamiliar with marking all the seams, this is kind of crazy. We got to go in here and, whoa, I did it again. I guess Alt and a drag, if I let go of Shift on accident, pops me over there. Azo says, still easier to use than Unreal Engine, LOL. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I mean, I'm a big Unity fan. I'm not a hater by any means. I make all of my living through selling games I make in Unity. But I do think that there are some legitimate complaints going on. With the company, with some of the random features and stuff they do. It's kind of weird. It's like they're in like acquisition mode. They like buy all these random companies that hardly have anything to do with game design, and a lot of people are like afraid that the engine is less focused on game design, but they are doing a lot of game design features still, and that's still the main usage of the engine. So I'm not too worried about it. A lot of people like to hype scare on the internet. I think that they're doing all right, but my one worry is like, in this economy, it's not really the greatest idea to be spending buku bucks of money on random companies. It probably won't pan out in the long run. But I think that there's so many games made in Unity that they'll still be making money for the time being, that is. Unreal Engine is very difficult to learn. It's a little bit complicated. It's also bloated itself. You can do a lot of powerful things in Unreal Engine, which I have played around with. I thought about trying to do one project in Unreal Engine, but I haven't yet. I thought about doing a maze game in Unreal Engine because that would be easy for me to test and look side to side how I would do it in Unity versus Unreal. And I think that I could probably get it running pretty easy. One of the things about Unreal, though, is porting is a little bit more difficult. Running it on consoles and stuff, especially lower end consoles. That kind of thing is my huge concern with switching to Unreal, because most of the consoles I release on are lower end. PlayStation 4 is not what you would call lower end. It's still pretty powerful. However, it is old at this point, and the more that they move the tech forward and the heavier it gets, running it on something like that is semi a problem. And I don't really know how I would go about doing it. And I think it would be a lot harder to port to Switch, which I hope to do in the future. Having trouble still getting in with Nintendo. They're still giving me the solid cold no. But I think that one day, if we're optimistic enough, we're going to get there. Azo says, I had Unreal Engine for an hour or something. I wanted to test one thing. I couldn't even port an asset. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely different. The settings are way different. You know, it used to be more similar. I feel like when I was in college, I used UE3. Back then, it was called UDK3 or something like that for Unreal Development Kit. And then when UE4 came out, they had it felt like they were trying to get closer to Unity in terms of presentation. And then ever since then, I haven't really messed with them at all. I tried to do one tutorial project in Unreal Engine 4 just so I could get the hang of it and then possibly do the maze game, like I said. But yeah, I just gave up in the long run because really Switch is important. And I want to say that a lot of people are porting to Switch from like UE3. They're porting from like old things like that. I mean, I think UE4 runs on it, but I could be wrong. I don't have any knowledge of Switch, to be honest. Obviously, Nintendo gets good results out of it. The second Unreal Engine game that they've ever made is Pikmin. I'm not exactly a huge fan of Nintendo using public game engines like that. I feel like they should be making their own proprietary tools, which they do for most of their games, obviously. Mia Johnson says, hi, hello. How are you doing today? Welcome to the stream. We are just... we're marking some seams so we can texture this. Yo, PLP, welcome to the stream. Yep, that would be nice. Welcome to the stream, good sir. It's wonderful to see you today. We're getting our model ready so we can put it in Unity and put some colors on this bad boy. We're wanting to see what this looks like. We're tired of all the gray. We got some artists in the room. And we're ready to see how this turns out. So we're going to be there eventually. This is highly tedious. And you guys can see, you know, this is a long process. The more complicated your model, I mean, we're still talking about pretty primitive shapes here, square rooms and stuff. The more complicated your model, the more complicated this will be. Also, there's no way this model is way too big. We're going to overlap UVs. If you go to game design school or you learn anything about game design, a lot of the time they will tell you that you don't want to be overlapping UVs. You want everything in a 1-to-1 square. But then you're going to need to use a massive texture, and we're going to use all sorts of textures, and we're going to scale these walls like crazy. So what we're going to be doing is ignoring that advice, because Unity has a little checkbox where you can still get good baked lighting results even though there's overlapping UVs. Unity's system will rework it for you into like a texture atlas type of deal by doing a checkbox and reloading it. So we're gonna try it with that method first. And Mia Johnson says, is this a PlayStation game? And yes, it is. It will be a PlayStation game. It's not yet, but it will be one day. Well, technically already I actually have the Unity project running on the dev kit, so it's technically a PlayStation game, but you guys will see it official, you know, down the line. A PlayStation game can be created like any other game for Steam. The difference is when you finally go to get it on the PlayStation, we got to do some special work that's all secret ninja coding, all covered by something called an NDA. You can't really talk about the PlayStation process, but there is something that you do. You know, you got to do some PlayStation specific settings, And then, you know, everybody knows about things on PlayStation. Like we got to add trophies. We got to add different support on PlayStation. Typically, I also like to add in features that are exclusive to the PlayStation. A lot of my games will take advantage of the light bar. For instance, you know, in Pitter Pot, when you get hit and you lose health, the light bar will change. So you'll always know what amount of health you have, how many hits you have left. Stuff like that. We also use the touchpad quite frequently in different ways. And we actually have an entire game. We're going to be the first developer ever, unless someone beats us to it. But I don't think that they will. We will be the first developer ever to have an entire game designed around the PlayStation touchpad. It's called the Perplexing Orb Touch. You guys can find out more about that game on our channel by watching our video called the TreeFall Studios Summer Games Experience from this year. It was in our summer video. And we're going to have more to show on that game in our fall conference video that will be coming up in the next couple of months. Mia Johnson says, what version of Unity are you going to use for this game? I need to pull up you can see down here, I've got the Unity Hub. I need to double check, but I'm pretty sure it's 2021.3.17 or 27 or something like that. PLP says, do the PS4, PS5 touchpads have any differences? Not as far as I'm aware in terms of coding. I don't believe so. I believe the only difference is their shape. I want to say I don't actually own a PS5 personally, so I haven't played with it myself, but I have tested it out at my brother's house, and I think that the whole controller seems a little bit bigger, and I feel like there's a tad more surface area for the PlayStation 5 touchpad, but I could be wrong on that. I will let you guys know if there's any major differences. I won't be able to tell you what they are, but I'll be able to say yes or no when we get our PS5 dev kit in. We are going to be making PlayStation 5 games separately soon. We were hoping to do that when we got our income from Tilting Tiles Micro Challenge. However, our Tilting Tiles we might have a problem here, actually. Our Tilting Tiles Micro Challenge experiment of charging so low for a game, hoping to make a lot of sales and make more money, didn't actually work out, so we can't afford the PlayStation 5 dev kit just yet, but we will soon. I'm hoping to be able to afford it once we release one more PlayStation 4 game, and that will be called Maze Rising Trials. Maze Pedestal of Trials is one of our most famous game releases, and it's our second grossing game release ever, and this will be a sequel follow-up, so I feel like it's going to reach a larger audience, and from there we should be able to acquire a PlayStation 5 dev kits. So this game right here should have a PS4 version and a PS5 version. PLP says, I noticed something. I noticed Pitterpot loads like twice as fast on PS5 compared to PS4. Oh yeah, I'm sure it does because you know, the PlayStation 5 loading times it's just the whole system's way stronger. Plus it has an SSD in there too, so loading data is faster, I believe. All right, so I think we got enough seams to get started. We got a bunch around. This won't be the finished work for how this will actually turn up. We'll do a little bit more on the details next week. However, this should be enough for us to do a couple quick face unwraps, just so we can get a little bit of a sense of scale and throw some bricks on here. Azo says PS5 is very, very fast. I know I would like to get one myself. I just don't have the cash to buy one just yet. I'm gonna buy the PlayStation 5 dev kit. I'm gonna invest in the company first so we can make games. So I'll be making games for it before I own the system personally. But after that, hopefully we will be able to buy one so we can check it out and see our games on the store. and just see how the PS5 experience goes. I haven't really wanted too many PS5 games, and a lot of PLP says, just ask Santa for one this year. You've been a good boy this year, right? You kill me, man. It's hilarious. There's not too many PlayStation 5 games that I really want to play. Most of them are coming to PC now. I wish they would do more exclusives again like they did in the PS4 days. But the fact that you can play your whole PS4 library on it, I got a lot of PS4 games. I think that would probably be worth it. Plus, I would like to play Demon Souls. I'm a fan of the Dark Souls series, so playing that would be cool. I would like to go back and play Elden Ring on PS5. Just so I could play it a little bit more smoothly. And then I pretty much would just use it for third-party stuff at that point. I'm not really into God of War, so I don't really want to play that. I do want to play Ratchet and Clank, so I would rather get that on PlayStation than PC. But yeah. All right, so we're moving into the UV editing mode here, and you can see we've got a little unwrap here. Azo says, how much does the PS5 dev kit cost? That is covered under NDA. I cannot tell you guys. I'm sorry. It's a private number, and it might have leaked out, or they might have some figures. If you just Googled it, you could find out some leaked approximated numbers, but they're pretty strict on that, and they'll chase you down, and they'll figure out who shared those details. So if anything is covered under NDA, I gotta just say, can't tell you, sorry. But it's not cheap. Let's just say that. Nothing is really cheap in the world, so that doesn't really give you guys any hints that could get me in trouble. Yeah. All right, so we got our UV map here, and we're going to go to the face mode, and you can see what we've done by cutting out all these red lines. Now, if I hit Control L, it will highlight an entire section that I've UV'd out. And what we're going to do is we're just going to go here, and we're going to unwrap these. It should just be like correct. Yeah, for now, we'll just leave everything in. What we're going to do, just so we can look at it, is we're just going to unwrap all the squares and just set them out how they should be. Just, you know what? I think if we just do it like this. Wow, see, even there's so many UVs and so many faces, even Blender is overlapping them. They shouldn't be, I don't think. Did I go a seam across the top? Did this work like that? It's actually pretty good, to be honest. Curvity. No, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back and do it the way we were just doing it, because we just want these to be bigger. We want them to fill up, because this is still gonna be too small on here. We're really gonna have to scale up our bricks because this castle's really big. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go and we are gonna grab them all and do it in sections like we were doing beforehand. Mia Johnson says, was it worth it? Was it worth it for you considering dev kit is not cheap? I guess you mean in terms of PlayStation. PlayStation is 100% worth it. If you are a game developer out there and you're looking to develop on PlayStation, I would say it's 100% worth it whatsoever. The Steam sales that we do, if you guys are new to our channel, you guys can find out exactly how much money we make on Steam. I have videos. Well, it's not completely up to date, but there's some that are like semi up to date. I don't remember what copies we're at now. I checked. We hadn't sold anything else this morning, but we're somewhere similar to. We got to get a couple more seams to the last video. The 1,000 copies on Steam. I maybe have done like 100 more copies since then, maybe something like that. Just because of the sales, something around there. But yeah, our Steam sales, we basically make the bulk of our living on PlayStation sales. Steam sales aren't bad. You know, our Steam games are profitable. We make our $100 back, but we don't make much more over that. So it's not completely worth our time. That's why we don't actually put every single game on Steam, and we like to make a lot of exclusive PlayStation games. I'll say that our PlayStation sales were better than where our Nintendo sales used to be. I'll say that. we've sold more games on PlayStation quicker and at higher prices than we did on Nintendo, except for the fact the letter. The letter on Wii U was pretty much a anomaly. Everyone loves the letter, and everyone also hates it. And there's also some people that think it's so bad it's good. So, that really helped us jumpstart our career. That'll get me on to another topic as well. Space by Name, welcome to the stream. How's it going today? I'm doing pretty good. I hope you're doing great. We've been going for 20 minutes. It's time to do a giveaway. Give me one sec. Let's hide this. Let's pop this here. Speaking of the letter, we're going to be throwing out a free code for the letter today. Here's a free PlayStation 4 game for you guys. You just type that code into the PlayStation Store and you can download it for free. If you claim that code, be sure to let us know in the live chat. And if somebody claims it after this video is posted and published, be sure to let us know in the comments below so you can save someone else who finds this video at a later date sometime so they don't waste time going into the PlayStation Store. All right, that'll be our first giveaway. I'm going to let that run for a couple minutes. We got 2 more game giveaways this week. I think that the game giveaways kind of help. I think they bring us in some traffic on Fridays. Also, I feel like people just have more time to, maybe have the day off on Friday, can tune in earlier, that kind of thing. So our Friday streams are usually a little bit bigger than normal. We're going to grab all of these. These got to all be straightened up to make this brick look nice. This is actually quick enough so I can show you guys. The same trick that we're doing to scale up all of our lines while we're making our model actually works in the UV editor as well, if I did the right axis. But we're only in 2 axes this time. Gonna get me some water. Yeah. And then what we got to do is got to grab all of these. You can see how doing a giant model like this is going to take forever just to get the textures to look good on it. Everyone thinks that it would be easy and that you could just throw it in there and then you'd be like, okay, I got some bricks that I drew. Let's go ahead and put it on the walls. You would think that it would be able to just figure out where it goes, but it just doesn't work like that. If you guys don't know much about modeling, this little image right here is basically, this square is going to be our texture. This is where your texture would be. So just imagine some bricks running across here, and each one of these little pieces are these faces that I have highlighted. So if we wanted the bricks to run straight, we would actually grab this and rotate it like this and put him somewhere down like here. And this would match up exactly with about a line of bricks. So the bricks would be like, whoop, around that corner. I think we're going a little too hard. We don't need to do all these little details just yet. We just need to go get all these big walls so we can see what it looks like real quick, because I think you guys will enjoy that. And then we can run around it in the game engine. Let me grab all these big walls. I do need to snap it to image bounds so we can line it up correctly. These ones I need to go ahead and rotate by -90. Yeah, there we go. That'll line those bricks up just nicely. Did I get this side already, guys? I don't think I did. Let's see. Well, part of it I did. Oh, it's because I got this part, so we need to unselect that. These guys are what we're looking for. And I guess these are actually all going to be incorrect too. Is that correct? I think that's upside down probably. Yeah. It's not going to matter too much about it being upside down because the bricks will at least work right. But we'll see. Let's put this down here. Mia Johnson says, how do I use giveaway code? You got to go to the PlayStation Store. You can go to the PlayStation Store on PS4 or on PS5. On PS4, there's a drop at the very bottom. You scroll all the way down, and from there, there'll be a button that says redeem code. I believe that's what the phraseology is, something along those lines, redeem code. And then you just type it in right there. And then after that, it should show up. It'll say the letter, and it will ask you if you want to redeem, and you click yes, and then it'll go continue to download. This is still wonky. I might just delete this here. We'll play with that. All right. Is this wall done? Sort of. It's also upside down. I have no idea what kind of face. Oh, see, all right, this is how, whoa, here. This room is going to be wild. That's all messed up. All right, I think we got enough. We'll show you guys fixing that in just a bit. I think that's enough. The big walls are grabbed and all unwrapped and shaped. Is this guy, did we do that? Nope. Almost. They're probably all upside down. This one's 90 degrees off. And did we get that one? Yeah, so you can see how we wanted this wall to be separated, and it went all the way over here. That's because that means we didn't seal off a seam. So we go here and mark that, and then we go here, boom. That'll unwrap that a little bit better for us. We'll rotate that by 180 and pop it up right about there. Yeah. All right, I think we've got maybe enough. Unwrap this guy. And then what we want to do is we're going to go in here because I want this to look cool automatically. We're going to unwrap this. And this is going to be a little tedious process, guys. Just bear with me. Let me know, Mia Johnson, if you get that code so everyone will know that you were the one who claimed the freebie. This is a lot of edges here, but we're going to straighten all of these up. We got to straighten these up so the bricks will look correctly. They won't look right unless we do all this work. There might be a more efficient way of doing this, but back in the day when we discovered how to do this, me and some guys in college, when we were working on game design, this was like mind-blowing, and this was the most efficient way that people had found at the time. I'm sure there's a way to do it a little bit better, but as far as I'm aware, this is just a few minutes of work to get a nice result, so it's not the worst, I guess. Although it would be nice if everything was instant, but people don't think that often, but game development takes a long time. If you ever wonder why, when you're looking at AAA developers, and you look at those staff credits, and there's 200 to 400 people who work on a game for 7 years, and somehow it still comes out broken, and the day one patch doesn't even fix all of the issues, well, it's definitely a hard process. Something like The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, is a miracle in today's day and age. But you guys got to realize, when you're talking about the Nintendo EPD team that makes Zelda, we were talking about this yesterday on my stream, that I was talking with some game developers yesterday, and they were thinking it was smart that I reuse some of my code bases and I build off projects to make sequels and continue different franchises, because that helps my development time speed up so I can stay in business. If you really think about The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild was actually a Wii U game, and that was in development since basically the start of the Wii U. It was probably in development since Skyward Sword, which was 2011. and it finally came out in 2017. So you're talking about, what is that, 6 years of dev? And then after that, we had another 6 years, or was it 7? No, 6 years. Another 6 years of dev. So basically, they're building on the same model base and same code base, just expanding it. So you're talking about to get to Tears of the Kingdom, you're talking about well over 200 people to work on a game for 12 to 13 years. I mean, that's pretty crazy, guys. Pretty crazy. All right, and our bricks are gonna want to go this way, and we're gonna want to go here and scale this up. We're gonna unconstrained image bounds. We're gonna scale this up by like 5, just so we can see this pretty good. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and start loading up the game engine over here on the opposite screen, and then I will pull it over here for you guys. Give me 1 second. Welcome to the stream, everyone. I can see you tuning in. I hope everyone is having a great Friday. We're doing some game development. Okay. Space by Name says, I will often start a project for the sake of creating a single feature for my game engine and then applying it to new titles. That is a great idea. Oh, I saw we were about to have a little bit of latency there. Oh, that was just because... All right, we're good. It doesn't look like it dropped any frames. I was worried there for a second. I think that was just the final bit of Unity loading. Can you guys see that? All right, let me go ahead and let's go ahead and export a new version of this and get Blender closed as fast as we can. That way we're not running too hot on my CPU. All right, let's close that up, guys. And then you can see we're maximized here. This was me taking the thumbnail earlier. So yesterday we dropped this here in. You can see this is Pitterpot, and we were working on, this was the old game, and this has been upgraded into like 4 different engine versions. It used to be in like 2017, and now we're in 2021.3.27. A lot is going to be changing, and yeah, this was our original build when we pulled it over, and you can see this was what we fixed at the beginning of the stream, and this was upside down. So that's what we were doing by flipping that little blue line. And then you can see we built a bunch of little objects here so we can run around and explore this level fully. So I'm going to show you guys a cool trick. We hide this right here, and we go back to our scene view. And then what we're going to do is we're not going to delete it from here. Because if we do that, we can do it that way. What you got to do is you got to go over here to copy, and you go to position. And then if you delete it from the room and then you make a new model, you'll just have to copy and paste. But this is a trick for you Unity developers out here. If you just go over to your FBX file in your assets folder and we delete it, and then what we do is we go to import new asset. I'm going to scoot this over just so you guys don't see some of the names of our secret models for Maze. We were in Maze last time. I want to surprise you guys with that. Let me go ahead and grab the one for Pitterpot. And I've lost the folder. Where are you, little guy? Missing acorns. I talked about the code names yesterday. And if we re-import our hub, you can see, since we never deleted it from the scene, it will automatically go to the correct place. Now, the only thing you got to keep in mind is when you still do this, all of your settings reset to default. So we need to get rid of the things we don't want. I do a little bit of compression. We want to generate colliders. We want to generate our light map UVs. And just so this runs a little bit better right now, we're going to get rid of the animator. It doesn't have any animations. We don't need to import those. And we can just clear out our material slots, so it'll all be just fine. All right, guys. Mia Johnson says, how long have you been a full-time game developer? It's been a little while. So I've run this company, TreeFall Studios, since 2012. That's when we first started. We did not release a video game until, well, I guess our first commercial release, we consider it to be The Letter, and that was 2014 on the Wii U. Although we had some small time releases on the PC before that, but we never made more than like $20 or $30. We had a couple Kickstarters for those, and like we made about $800 on one and like $300 on another one. But that was split between me and my other team member, and we had to pay Kickstarter fees. So you're talking a total of a couple of $100 when we first started. So we consider our first game in 2014. I was working a part-time job at that point. I was doing minimum wage, and the letter sold so much in one day on the Wii U that I made more in one day on the Wii U than I would at my minimum wage job working part-time for like 3 or 4 months. So I I did the dumb thing. This is not the smart money thing, because if you guys want to be smart financially, you get as much income as you can from all sorts of different sources, and you invest that income, you save that income, you live on less than you make, and you know, all of that. But I was young, and I said goodbye to my job cleaning toilets. I'm out of here, and I'm going to become a game developer. But it didn't last. Our Wii U stuff, I was full-time and then non-full-time throughout college, because then I went to college, and I was kind of working part-time on and off. Then outside of college, I worked some jobs, and I still did the game stuff, mostly full-time, but I was basically working full-time hours at other jobs. I've been a full-time game developer for about the last, where this is my main job. I've picked up some side hustles and small jobs throughout the last couple of years, but this has really been my main job full-time for about 3 years. I've got a video on our YouTube channel. Let's see if we pull, I can show you real quick. If we pull over here, and we go, I think it should be in this right here, this success or fail. 3 years ago, about 3 years ago, quit my job. About this time frame, that was when I went full-time because of PlayStation, and I've basically been doing TreeFall Studios full-time since then. Yeah. Let's close this. Let's close my other windows. We can open up another one if we need to, but we're going to close everything down so we can run a little bit more efficiently for you. Azo says, how old are you? Oh, don't make me feel old now. I'm just kidding. I am 29 years old. That might be older than you think, or might be younger than you think, but I'm 29 years old. I will be hitting the big 3-0 this year. A little scary. All right, so we're going to put the textures on this. Like I mentioned, that's all why we went off on a little bit of a tangent, but that's been some fun conversation. Let's go ahead and put some bricks on here. Oh my gosh, guys. Okay, so this looks bad. So this is what we're doing. We were scaling them out so we could see if we put some bricks on here, what the size and scale would be, so we can go back into the modeling engine and figure out what we need to change. So if you can see, it still looks cool. You can see that everything is using the same texture. Everything is under the same material. We're going to need to make some material slots so these can be different. But honestly, right here, remember we flipped these and we spent the time flipping this. This already looks pretty good. So what we're going to do here is, let's see what the lighting. Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and play this. Let me go grab my Xbox controller. And, all right, let's go ahead and jump into the game. Oh, I just realized that giveaway code has been up there way too long. Give me a sec. Let's hide that, and let's put our normal news banner. I'm going to go ahead and get the next giveaway ready, but we're not going to do it just yet. Giveaway number 2 is what this one is called. We'll do that in just a couple minutes so you guys can, we'll do it after we check out this. Oh yeah, I put Pitter Pot at the top up here when we were exploring the castle yesterday. We're going to jump way down. Yeah, you can see he can turn a little bit. He turns a little bit better than he did in the first game, but we're going to edit that a little bit more. Look how big these bricks are. These, I would have to say, see, we lined them up almost. I gotta say that we're probably gonna aim for about 3 times as small as that. So 3 times as many bricks. So we're gonna scale those up, and you can see that all that looks terrible. That room, we never finished doing those lines and those seams there. So that one, it's not done. But we worked so hard at straightening up these lines, and now you can see why we did that. As you run down this hallway, the bricks curve around exactly how they're supposed to. So it might look counterintuitive. I can explain this just a little bit. So it was curved with a natural unwrap, but the brick images are straight. The brick images aren't curved, but you want the bricks to look like they go around the tunnel. So we needed to make the actual UVs straight, even though the model isn't straight. So it matches the straight bricks, and then it pasted it around the model so you can see the bricks look how they're supposed to. Yeah, it looks really, really good, because as you go around that corner right here, we get the camera close, you can see it just goes around. Obviously, you know, these are just tests from old textures that we had in the original game, and you know, everything is going to be new. We haven't created the new bricks yet. We might even do that on stream if you guys are interested in material creation for my game developers out there. I do a different approach. Back in the day for Maze, it's actually pretty impressive if you guys are game developers. Like back in the day, Maze and some of my games like that, the original games, Perplexing Orb, I hand drew every single texture just basically using Photoshop. Now we don't really do that. These were hand drawn by my artist, and they're much more professional than the ones that I do. But now we use some new software. I use a mixture between Affinity Photo, which is basically my Photoshop equivalent, and then we also use Quixel Mixer to mix stuff up and create procedural textures. And then also I tested out the Substance suite for a little while, and I made my first Substance Designer material, and it actually looked pretty awesome. And I made a couple of those, but I stopped paying for it just because I needed to save a little bit of cash. But before we do another big project, I might switch over to that. So this looks pretty good, but you can see, all right, we got these facing the wrong way. These all need to be rotated, and they need to be scaled about like 3 or 4 times too. But you can see over here, this is kind of what I was talking about. This looks pretty bad. We'll have to do some weird shapes to get this to work. Although I don't really think that this guy is going to be brick. I think this will be more of like a rock texture overall. And so it won't really look like this. The lining up of it won't matter as much. We'll get a pretty good tiling texture. But you can see we did do this right. It's just not scooted over enough where it fills up like exactly one brick. You can see it's like cutting the bricks off, but the bricks are going up the correct direction. So that looks pretty good. At least a good start. And did this room get done? This got unwrapped, but they were just too small. And then here's our little secret path around this corner. So yeah. All right. Well, we're going to go in and we're going to change this up, and we're going to shrink these up a little bit more so you guys can see even better. Thanks for tuning in to the stream, everyone. I'm glad everyone is here. Whoa, I don't need to open another project. It's going to crash my computer. All right, we're actually going to close this out too. Like I said, we're going to try to do this one at a time. Actually, no, we're not. We're going to just try to do this quick. I could see it struggling a little bit. Let's see what my CPU is. It looks okay. Hopefully we don't do too much here. Let me just close out the hub. Quit Unity hub. Get that running. That doesn't need to run in the background. All right, so we got our lines, and honestly, what we want to do is take this, which is what we were doing last, and scale it by about 2. I want to say that probably the hallway is going to look pretty great if we do it like that. And then these guys, I said, what, we needed 3, about 3 more. Let's see. I'm a little confused here because I unwrapped this, and this was Let's hide that. Let's go to maximize scene so we don't have all this other stuff. All right, yeah, it's just because the scale is wrong. We gotta unwrap these at the same time so that they can be scaled exactly right. Oh shoot, didn't need to play that. Because if we do that, then there's two ways to do this. All right, we either unwrap them at the exact same time and then scale them down together. That way they're lined up. Or what we do is we unwrap them like this, but then you can see if we highlight all of this too, you can see we got our lines here. Like these two pieces are sitting right on top of this. So like this is actually just not done right. I think it would be... Is that upside down? Let's take another look. The shadows are in the bottom. Shadows are in the bottom. No, yeah, no, it's right. So it's not upside down. So these two lines right here, like, would be sitting directly on top of that. So we'd have to go by line and kind of do this in the UV editor. I'm not really thinking that that's the move. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to just grab them all, unwrap them at once, so they're all the same scale. Then we'll go here by the collection, and then we're going to line them all up together, and then we're going to scale them out. Then we'll take a look at it in the game engine. Mia Johnson says, can I start a new PlayStation game project using 2021.2, or do I need Unity Pro? You do need Unity Pro, you do. But the only way to start a new PlayStation project is to go through PlayStation themselves. You can't just start a PlayStation project. You could try if you open up your own version of Unity, and then you go to the build settings to change the build to PlayStation. You should be able to see it on a random copy of Unity that you download from Unity's website. But if you go to click on it, it will say no build module installed. The only way you can get official PlayStation Unity versions is from PlayStation. So if you haven't signed up, you need to go to develop.playstation.com, I believe. And I can just show it to you if you're interested. Let's call it... if you just go to Google, well, let's use Brave here. We don't really use Google around these parts. Develop for PlayStation. Let's see. I still call it that. Yeah, let's see if this is the right link. Yep. All right, so if you just go here and you search for Develop for PlayStation, it'll be the first link. You click on it and it says, welcome to PlayStation Partners. This is their new website, and they give you a little bit of information here on how to start. Megan, welcome to the stream. Glad to see you, my friend. He says she'll need more than just Googling. Yes, that's true. You are going to need more than that, but you can start here if you want to sign up, and you click join us now. You say, I want to build games on the PlayStation, and this is where you start. And you're going to go through all these questionnaires, and there's a lot of requirements that you need to meet in order to develop for PlayStation. But that's how you get started. You need to have an incorporated company. You need to be official in Sony's eyes, and a few other things. But once you go through the process at joining on their website, then you can find out more information about getting PlayStation Unity versions yourself. All of that is covered outside of the website. Obviously, you can Google it and find the website for yourself. Everything that is not shown on that website page, anything past that, is covered under an NDA, so you can't talk about it, but I can tell you how to get there and how to get started. That's about all I can do. If you can make it past that point, and then you get to the point where you are covered on NDA too, then you can kind of talk about it with other developers on the forums in case you have more questions and you can't figure something out. But you can't really talk about it just, randomly. I was very thirsty, and I held that mug for a while, getting that thought out. All right, so we've got this unwrapped here, and what we want to do is we want to line this up the correct way. We're going to put this here. Let's go back and constrain the image bounds. We're going to put this here. We're going to rotate this one by 90. Yes, and then are you Yes, you're actually facing the right way. Then we're going to unconstrain the image bounds. So let's make sure, yeah, this guy should be the one on the left. Then this guy should be directly beside him. And then this guy should be directly beside him. Actually, let's constrain to image bounds one more time. Yep, so that's right. It's going to look confusing for just a second, but then we're going to get rid of this. And Mia Johnson says, thank you. You are welcome. If you want to start your PlayStation journey, you need to start right there. And then once you get started, my channel does have quite a few random pieces of advice and information. I'm trying to build a brand and help people as much as I can, because I had some people who helped me when I got started in game development, and it made the world of difference. And sometimes people just need help. It's really hard to figure out a lot of these things, and everybody should be able to make their own games and follow their dreams. All right, now we're going to slide this over here. It is a difficult journey, I will say that, though. It's not for the faint of heart. But if you put in the work, anybody can do it, and I'm a prime example of that. All right, let's see. We're going to line this up just as close as possible. All right, now all of these are lined up. So this is left to right, and now the bricks should scale completely. And we forgot to do these, though. So the bricks aren't going to work right. You can see how confusing of a process this would be normally. But we're going to do this, and we're going to scale it by like 5. And we're just going to test this out. We're just going to look at this together, and we're going to see if we're heading the right direction. Let's pull the game engine back up for you guys so you can see it on your screen. I moved the blender in front of the chat, but I think I saw Spaceman's name said he 100% agrees. I'm glad you think so. I got to check out. I believe you are also doing game development. Is that correct? I believe you are. And let's go ahead and do this. The trick that we talked about earlier. Let's delete the hub. Let's import it again. Okay. Now what are you guys thinking here? We're getting a little bit closer. I think this is looking pretty good. Let's play this so we can see what we're seeing. Mia Johnson says, are you working on Pitterpot 2? Technically, no. This is a Pitterpot 1.5. It's more of a spin-off. It's not the full Pitterpot 2. This is a direct sequel, though. It's taking place after Pitterpot 1, directly after those story events. Something is going to... Oh, I forgot. Did you? Okay, guys. I'll finish that thought in a second. That was hilarious. We forgot to do our import settings, so there was no collider, and we just fell all the way through all the floors, hit the kill volume, and popped back out over here at the start of the level. We still got some of Pitterpot 1's level here. We can talk to Twiglet. I love doing this. I was the one who did those animations, actually, and the blinking of the eyes, getting that to work was pretty fun. So anyways, let's go ahead and go back and fix that. So this is not Pitterpot 2. This is like a spin-off, but the actual game itself, the scope has gotten way bigger than I had originally planned for it to be. So it's basically going to feel like Pitterpot 2, but we're working off the same code base. We're going to reuse some of the controller. We're editing the character controller. We're going to try to make it a little bit better, but it's going to be highly similar to how it was before. Pitterpot 2 will be an entirely new game from the ground up with a new character controller, code, all new art style as well. So that'll be completely different. So yeah. All right, I'm going to go ahead and we got quite a few viewers. Let's go ahead and drop a new giveaway code so you guys can get another free game while we go and check out these bricks. Give me 1 second. Let's get rid of this text and let's pop up another one. So this is a free code for Night Detective on PlayStation 4. This can be played on PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5. All you got to do is go take that code and put it in the PlayStation Store. And if you are the one to be able to claim the free code for your new game, be sure to let us know in the chat, in the comments, if you can claim it live. And if you claim it after the stream is posted up, be sure to leave it in the comments below so you can save our future viewers a little bit of time for checking the PlayStation Store. Thanks, guys, for that. And Space by Name says, yep, I've been doing game dev as a hobby for years, released my first commercial game in 2019, still working on profitability. Nice, that is so awesome, man. I'd love to chat with you more about that in the future. Take a look at your game and see what we got going on. Profitability is definitely, man, it's a hard beast to conquer. I really didn't get there until I had worked for a couple of years. A couple of my games were profitable off the bat, stuff like The Letter, Maze Pedestal of Trials, The Perplexing Orb 2, and The Perplexing Orb 1. Those and the original Tilting Tiles, those were huge sellers in comparison to our other catalogs. But the way that I'm profitable now is by having so many backlog of games. So a lot of the times when people find us now, you know, if you guys are tuning in, you've never heard about TreeFall Studios before, well, we've got 11 games on the PlayStation that you've probably never played. If you pick up one, you know, you pick up, you know, one Tilting Tiles, there's other games in the franchise. You pick up one Maze, there's other games in the franchise. You pick up Orb, there's other games in the franchise. So that kind of thing. And having a lot of games allows you to be in a lot of features. We get featured in a lot of Sony's discounts, and our games are mixed up between the years. And yeah, so it really helps out. But all right, so these bricks are looking pretty good. I'm thinking that that's probably appropriate scale. We could go one size smaller, just a tad. The bricks in here were scaled independently from these, and they're almost the same size. I actually think that these bricks are perfect. Look at this. This is looking awesome. You know, we'll have like tiles. Yeah, there's big bricks on the floor, that's for sure. I think that these are pretty good. What do you guys think about the scale of these bricks in this hallway? I'm thinking that's pretty good. I think if it's any smaller, I think the tiling is going to be just too much for your eyes. We're going to break this up, obviously, because we're going to put some lamps all down the hallway and have some light glowing in here and that kind of thing. We'll put some, you know, boxes in here for you to collect, and, you know, maybe some other seeds and maybe some things to jump over, things like that. I want to say that these are getting close, but I think they're just a little too big. They probably need to be more like this size, so maybe scaling up just a bit. But you can see how we lined them all up in the modeling engine. You can see that perfectly now that these bricks line straight up into the other bricks, so it looks pretty good. It looks like natural, and it lines up over here as well. We can put our little seed, we can grow this and jump up here and get a better look, and then we can edit it a little bit more. So yeah, Night Detective is out on the screen right now, going for free. Let me know if you guys grab that one. You know, it's crazy. Night Detective is one of our highest selling games ever. It's very odd. That was our first game of all time. Wow. Look at these. These are scaled so poorly. It's just a giant colored room. Look at this, guys. This is going to take a little while to fix. Should we leave this in the game? Yes or no? You vote in the comments below. That would be a broken game, huh? Yeah, that's something. But Night Detective, it was surprising. A lot of people bought it on PlayStation. And not just trophy hunters. There were quite a bit of people who played it for story and those kind of reasons. And we get a ton of messages, actually. One of our most requested franchise sequels is everyone wants to know when the sequel to Night Detective is coming out. I can only say it's not yet, but we are going to be doing it eventually. And it's going to be really cool. So I'm pretty excited to do a deeper story-based series with the Night Detective games. So yeah, looking forward to that. All right, let's fix these bricks up a little bit more. We got a little bit more work to do, and we can hide these. It looks fun, but also broken. Yeah, that's definitely what it is. I accidentally closed Blender on accident. Let me reopen our hub. Another thing to mention, guys, while you guys are all tuning in here, let's minimize this and put you here, If you guys are new, I can see we've had plenty of people tuning into the stream. Friday streams are popular, like I told you. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe to the channel. It would help me out a ton. We got a new subscriber this morning, so we are now only 10 subscribers away from hitting 1,400. That's a pretty good milestone. We're getting real close. 1,500 will definitely be a big celebration. So if you're new and you haven't subscribed, you've been checking out the channel for a little while, be sure to go ahead and subscribe. It would help us out a bunch, an absolute bunch. We are also nearing our partner status. We have enough subscribers. We have more than 1,000, and we don't have any community strikes or anything like that. But we are still working on the third requirement, which is our watch time. Our watch time is getting close. It's about halfway there. We got to build it up. So we're doing a bunch of streams, and I'm putting a ton of time into YouTube. So if you guys are watching our videos, you're really helping us reach maybe some extra income through YouTube. So right now we're going to fix the room that looks so silly. We're going to mark these seams. We're going to unwrap this and fix all of these and fix the floor. Oh, thanks for subscribing, Mia. That's great. That helps us out a ton. We're now 9 away. Let's go, everybody. 9 away from 1,400. We'll have to do some kind of, giveaway. If we can hit 1,500 in like the next month, we'll do like a PSN gift card giveaway so you guys can win more than just my games. You can buy your own, whatever you so choose. Something like that. That'll help us grow the channel. And Mia also says, can you tell us a little bit about your PC specs? My PC specs are all over the place because this is a custom built PC, but a lot of the parts are old and recycled from a friend who builds a lot of PCs. So my graphics card is like it's like a 980. It's like old. It's like pretty old. It's like 10 years old. My CPU is like 10 years old. But I have, I guess, 16 gigs of RAM, and I have some things that are decent and new, but then some things are kind of old. I need to replace them. It's about time that I replace my CPU motherboard. The graphics card is okay-ish. It's still kind of old, so we're probably going to replace that too. But yeah, we're working on some pretty old stuff, but that's okay because, we're also trying to work at becoming efficient in our game design and not going overboard. And that also helps us. I mean, it's pretty easy to get these games running great on PlayStation. PlayStation's pretty powerful, but it will help us port to other things in the future, like Switch, if we ever get invited. Also, I don't know if you guys are fans out there of the Atari system, but our friend Met Gann, he's been chatting to me about the Atari VCS, and I've been looking into maybe doing some development on there, and that system is pretty weak overall, and I think porting some of my games would be doable over onto that system. Also, being efficient just helps you in general because you never know what kind of PC that people are going to have when they're buying your game on Steam. And if you have a super efficient game, well, people with lower end hardware can be able to play and enjoy your game. And you would much rather be more accessible to all sorts of types of computers and people to be able to play your game instead of being limited to needing, just crazy specs. You know what I mean? So I think the Steam Deck is really going to help too, because now you can cater to the Steam Deck. And that's a little bit like, I want to say it's about as powerful as the PS4, but it's probably like a little bit weaker. Well, this is probably upside down. We'll see. Nope, it's right side up. But yeah, catering to the Steam Deck will also be a good benchmark baseline for Steam now. I would love to get one of those. I don't have that either. No Steam Deck for TreeFall Studios. Can't afford that. They're still a little expensive. Another thing about profitability, we're talking about Space My Name is talking about profitability, and Mia's talking about starting as a PlayStation developer. One of the reasons I'm able to develop games and stay full time is also because I'm kind of minimalist in my finances. Currently, right now, as far as entertainment and video games go, we only own a PlayStation 4 and a Nintendo Switch. The Nintendo Switch I bought on the first day, so that was 7 years ago, and my PlayStation 4 I got even before that. So we're still playing games on old systems, and there's a lot of great games coming out on these old systems still. So you don't have to have the latest and greatest to have fun, everybody. All right, so that's gonna be doing the bricks that way, right way across. I think the bricks will be going like this up here, and these, we're gonna line these up. Let's go ahead and get this correct. All right, those are done. Wow, a couple of these sides are shorter than the other ones. Odd. And then what we can do is let's highlight all of these and get all of them. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to line up this room. Although this room is probably not going to have the castle bricks. This will probably have some kind of interior texture. But we can go ahead and get started by lining them up at least. Let's go back to constraining to image bounds. We're on it. That's good. And then... so let's see, which one is which? Let's start with this one first. And put it all the way to the left. And then let's go here and grab this guy next. And then drop him down. And is there... no. The hotkey for vertex snapping. I wonder if snapping... what do we got? Snap UV during transform. Snapping tools. Vertex snapping. Closest. Let's click this on and see. Does that work? Or do you have to turn this on? Okay. Yeah. Would you look at that? We just learned something new live on stream. Okay, we got another problem though. I thought I unwrapped these all at once. Did I not do that? Because the scale is off. Just after we talked about it last time. Let's just do it again. Hold on, guys. Now the scale is correct. Let's go back. Yeah, that's going to make UV editing so much better. We're learning Blender tools as we go. We do have vertex snapping. That's so beautiful. Let's take it from you. G on the X. Am I constrained? That's why. No wonder. Snapping back on. There we go. Yeah, that'll help us line up perfectly instead of eyeballing it. Much better. Let's grab this one and then this one. And then we grab this little dude and snap you here. Boom. Yeah, it's a little finicky. It doesn't work exactly perfectly, but it's not too bad. Let's make sure. Yeah, so this guy, he needs to be rotated. He will be upside down. Let's do 180 on this. Oh, we're still doing our Night Detective giveaway code. I was running that a little bit too long. Let me know in the comments if anybody has claimed our free code. Let's go ahead and pop that off, and we'll get ready to do our third giveaway here in just a little bit. We are going to be giving away another game, so stay tuned. This one's going to be cool. All right, let's grab these guys. Let's grab him. And then we're going to go boop, 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 boop. See, look at that. It's like, it's having trouble getting the right snap. And now it's like snapping is on, but it's, there we go. All right, that's good. Now we're going to take this. We're going to loop. Are we on faces? Yeah, loop all that, grab all those. Let's scale this up here. We're off bounds. We'll scale it up by like 5. Let's see if we can get a good brick look there. And then let's take these guys like we had. We talked about this scale was almost just right. Let's scale it by like 1.5. Not a whole 2. just a little bit. And let's go ahead and export our FBX. Let's overwrite our hub file, close this out. Excuse me, guys. Let's delete him out again. And we're back. Let's do our settings. A lot of iteration here. It's going to feel like we're doing a lot of the same things over and over. But I'm telling you, that's what game development is like. That is what game development's like. All right. Whoa, we might be a little too small on the 1.5. Let's go ahead and go back, and before we go, let's like Control Z this. Yeah, so we can start from a different scale. But we're going to go and look at it. We're going to go test it together. I got to move Pitter Pot so we don't keep starting up on the roof. Although it's going to be cool to play around up here. Yep. Wee. Oh. Was 1.5 good, guys? It looked a little too small from the distance, but I actually think that that's probably right. What do you guys think? Are these bricks about the right scale for Pitter Pot? I mean, probably. He has like little bitty pots for feet, and he could basically stand on one brick. You could set 2 little pots on a single brick. I think that's probably a decent enough scale. Let's go look at it in the room here because we scaled those independently. Let's grow our little plants. It's gonna go womp, 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 womp. It's gonna grow here. Welcome to the stream, everybody. I can see some more people tuning in. We are gonna get ready to give away another PlayStation 4 game, so stay tuned. Right now we're testing our UV mapping and our texturing, and we're trying to figure out if these bricks are gonna look good in the game or not. You can look around and see that there's plenty of stuff that's unfinished at this point. All right. I gotta say that the bricks look pretty good in here, and we lined them up on the corners too. I would say that this is probably a pretty good scale for this room. You can see we didn't do the floor. Looks pretty wild, huh? Kind of reminds you of the PS1 games. And honestly, these are upside down. We need to flip those. And that's upside down. Yeah, we need to flip those around, and then probably we'll run the bricks this way, lengthwise, across the top instead of horizontal. We need to flip that direction. But I think that looks pretty good. We didn't touch this, did we? So the scales are just a tad bit off. All right, so this is the vote, guys. All right, what do you think? The scale of the bricks here on this wall. Are they too small? Are they right? Or the scale of the bricks in here? Because the scale of the bricks in this curved hallway, it's hard to tell, but they're ever so slightly bigger than in here. You can also see, you know, this material does have some normal mapping and some specular going on. You can see that it looks a little 3D when you look at it. There's some actual shadows and shapes to the bricks that we drew. And you can't really see that in the dark because this is in the dark. It's not actually lit up by the sun. But this hallway will look so much cooler when we start building lights, especially our little crystal colored lights that were similar to Maze Postal of Trials. If you guys haven't played that game, there's a level called the Tomb. And inside that, it's all inside of a pyramid tomb. And it's all lit up by little crystals. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Space by Name votes he's unsure. I'm like a little unsure myself. I'm kind of looking at it and I'm like, both look fine. I want to say that these kind of look a little big when you compare them to these. But then when you look at this giant wall here, maybe this scale is like just a little too small just because the tiling repeat is like pretty crazy. Although, like I mentioned, this is just an old texture we're using just so we can build scale together today. This won't actually be the texture that goes on the castle walls, and we're going to try to build a texture that has a little bit like it's a little bit better to hide the tiling so you guys won't be able to tell, and it will look a little bit better. So that'll be our goal for then. All right, it's 10 after 5. Let's go ahead and do our last giveaway real quick. Let me go ahead and grab that while Pitterpot's just idling away. Let's hide this. Oh, I gotta load it. Give me 1 second. Delete this. Add this image. Giveaway 7/14. This today. Number 3. All right, so our third giveaway is coming up, and surprise, surprise, everybody, it's for Pitterpot. That's right. So if you guys haven't played Pitterpot and you're watching the development of the sequel to Pitterpot, well, now there is a free code down here in the wild for you guys to play the game. That is a $10 value on the PlayStation Store, ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah, I'm just thankful that you guys are here to check out the YouTube content, and I'm excited to continue making the game with you. So let us know in the comments if you grabbed the code live. Be sure to let us know that you were able to claim it. And if you catch the code and were able to redeem it after the fact, when this is posted up and no longer live, be sure to let us know in the comments below. That way we can save everybody some time when they go to the PlayStation Store. Space by Name says, I thought the tunnel scale looked a little blurry, but if you're changing the textures anyway, the tunnel scale would look good. Let's go ahead and take a look at that in the engine. I guess you mean the clarity, because, well, one, I think it's not too bad. I think you mean it's like stretched a little big, but like I said, the texture will be different. But I honestly think it will still look a little bit better in the tunnel as soon as we get lights in there and we kind of light up the material and you start seeing some shadows on it and we get that 3D bump map effect. Let's drag some metal over here. Yeah, here's the new metal from our... yeah, this looks cool, huh, guys? Look, I actually did this, you see? When you can see it all zoomed in, we got little plants and a little bit of dirt in between our little metal pieces here. Yeah, look at it over here. It does not tile well. Oof. Yeah, let's Control Z that. Let's go back to our bricks. I'll go over there. Let's do that. Let's go to Swampland. This could be... I actually have the hub in here. We don't need it in here. We're testing it on the other level. But... where is Pitterpot? I'll just show you this as we're getting ready to close up the stream. We're gonna let that giveaway code run for just a little bit longer, but yeah, I'll just show you this, guys. So yeah, here's the start of a new level, and you can see we got our green swampy water. We built this bridge actually all together live on stream. This was one of our first stream videos way back around 2 weeks ago, a little bit before that. And yeah, we got our little wood pieces, and here's our little metal slats that are going to be our bridges. So yeah, this is going to be pretty cool as we go farther. Let's go back to level 1. Let me find you here. Level 1. Let's save that scene. That's fine. Yeah, about 5:13. Yeah, so we can go do the wrap up. I'll try to do the wrap up today while we got the Pitterpot code going, and I'll just give you guys a little bit of news and stuff. So yeah, it's Friday stream. It was fun. Giveaway. We gave away 3 PlayStation games. Today's value is a total of $14 that we gave away. Be sure to let us know if you guys claimed those. If you did, enjoy the stream. If you're not subscribed here, be sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you want to see more game development content like this. On this channel, I do all sorts of things. I have a 2-channel focus now, and I show off game development content where I make my own games. I do devlogs for my games. You can see our trailers and updates on our games, and all of that. If you are a fan of indie games, be sure to subscribe to our channel. And then the other half of my channel is focused on helping new game developers or people with no experience in game development get started in game development. And I have a lot of advice videos, tips videos, and just informational videos on how many copies of games we've sold, what you can expect, how to achieve profitability, and that kind of thing. All sorts of videos like that can be found on our channel as well. So if you are a game developer and you want to learn more about video game development, be sure to subscribe as well. Like I mentioned earlier, we got a subscriber midstream, so we are now sitting at 9 away from 1,400. That's a new milestone. I would love to hit that probably sometime next week. That would be pretty awesome. And after we get past the 1,400 milestone, we'll start really ramping up for that 1,500. That would be a huge giveaway. We'll do a special stream when we can hit 1,500. We'll give away some PlayStation gift cards so you guys can get some free games, that kind of thing. So if you're new, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Also, if you guys, let's go ahead and get rid of the pitter pot text and put the news banner text below. If you guys are new and you want to support even more, we do have a Patreon page. The links are in the description below. You guys can get your names featured on our YouTube videos, our YouTube live streams, and featured in the credits of our video games that are published on PlayStation, Steam, and other platforms. So if you're interested in that, you can check out the links in the description below. There's also a link to it on our channel homepage. And before we end our little Patreon page, I got to give a personal shout out to Carmen Red, Overhyped Gamer, Shark and Minnow, and PLP. Thank you guys for what you do for TreeFall Studios on patreon.com. I couldn't do what I do without you guys. It helps bring in just a little bit of additional income and keeps us developing games and making YouTube videos for everybody to see. So if you're interested, check out that below. Also, we have all of our games we have 7 of our games available on Steam. They're all linked below, and we have 11 or so games on PlayStation. Not all of them, around 10 of them maybe might be linked below. So if you guys are new and you haven't played any of our games, you didn't get one of the free codes in this video, or you just want to buy the games to support the channel and play a fun indie game, you can find some of our games in the links in the description below. All right, without further ado, I am going to catch you guys in the next stream. It will be coming back next week on Monday. Hopefully, we will be able to figure out some of our YouTube problems. If not, we might be looking into doing multi-streams onto different websites. We'll have to see how that goes. But hopefully we can get this stream setup thing under control and see how that goes. But thanks for tuning in. Be sure to catch you later. I will see you guys in the next one.